Have you ever felt it? That shift in the air, the veil between worlds thinning? Ever wonder why some things seem magnified late at night? Sounds of footsteps, scraping nails on the walls, and even whispers in the dark. For centuries, often around midnight or 3 a.m., it has been whispered about as a time of heightened spiritual activity. A time when magic is real and the unseen world draws closer. The legends, the lore, the terrifying stories that haunt the night. So join us as we embrace the darkness and explore the magic, the madness, and the mystery of the witching hour. Be sure to rate us and subscribe to the show so you never miss a tale from beyond the walls of sleep.
Welcome to the Witching Hour. Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
This is our Patreon.
Our haunted Halloween episode.
Indeed. And wait, did I say Patreon?
What?
How are you hearing this?
Oh. I'm sorry.
So we decided to let everybody have this Patreon episode because we thought it was very important that the entire listenership of our quaint podcast
Yes.
should know. And anyone who stumbles upon this.
Plus, Halloween's cool. It's kind of us weirdos, Christmas. So here we are, friends. Our gift to you.
Yeah. And even outside of Halloween, this is something good to know.
Definitely. It's actually something I didn't even think about much until we brought it up as a topic.
I don't think anyone thinks of this unless you are of the know.
Now, there's certain aspects about it that I think some people innately maybe grow up knowing because it's a passed on tradition from a family member, but you don't really think of it as like a form of etiquette unless you're having like this discussion.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But it does make sense overall.
So what are we talking about? Let's just hit that nail on the head.
So we're going to go into depth on some graveyard etiquette. And what this is not going to be is how to bring back Great Aunt Bertha or
Pet Cemetery.
Nope, not that. We're not going to teach you any specific rituals and or incantations, but what you will learn is possibly how to respect the dead.
I sincerely hope so, because I did learn a lot out of researching this episode.
And not come home with a parasite.
Yes, that's also a very important part of this. You have to be respectful and knowledgeable when you're practicing, or, you can end up bringing something home that you didn't intend to.
Yeah, and this doesn't even necessarily mean a graveyard, so to say, or a cemetery or whatever you want to call it. This stuff might help you in places that do have other spirits that are there. And this is, a good reason for things to follow you if you do not respect their homes.
Absolutely. And it does make more sense when you think of it as their dwelling,
Right.
It's theirs, and we're encroaching on that.
Right. Nobody likes people, just kicking open their door and sitting on their couch.
Yeah.
Watching their Netflix series.
Eating your snacks.
Indeed.
And they didn't even ask permission.
Sons of bitches.
Mm-hmm.
So we were on vacation for like a week, and we're ready to retire.
Yes.
But
Yep.
Unfortunately, the bills would not stop coming, so that's not happening, evidently. So,
really what we're saying is we need approximately 1 million Patreon subscribers.
even for the dollar tier.
Yeah. And, bright side, you just have to enroll in the 1 month, and then you're good.
Yeah.
We just got to hit that million subscribers, and we'll be
million people that give us $1.
golden.
It's like that saying, if for every time I got a penny every time I heard that.
Oh my
I
gosh.
just butchered that saying like Ed Gein.
A little bit,
I'm not gonna eat that saying.
I don't think you should.
Oh no, we're talking about the dead.
Oh, this is bad. This is
Okay.
a bad transition.
Well, okay, ignore us. We have vacation brain in the middle of the work week, and we are 48 hours from All Hallows Eve.
Yes. I'm very excited, actually.
We're burnt out.
How do you like to spend Halloween, Percival? What are your favorite...
Oh, man.
What's your favorite traditions? Like, do you have like a movie that you watch all the time?
I am a 40-year-old child who likes to dress up in a Scream costume and scare the shit out of people.
Hey, you know, I think there's a crowd of you out there. There's a community to be had, so just reach out there. If anybody else out there feels that, you know, reach out to us. Evidently, we have some believers.
Yeah, go hit us up on our Instagram and tell us what your costume was this year.
Yes, or if you have a specific tradition you like to do. I love tarot. We've been learning that for a few years now. I wouldn't say we're experts or anything, but it is fun and very educational.
I've been doing tarot for a very long time.
Yes, you have. You've been teaching me for a few years now.
Yes, and I've just recently got into astrology. Like I've been living under a rock.
Yes, we have.
But if you guys want to see me live stream in my costume, I better see some comments, or there will be no costume live stream.
I'm not sure where to go with that. I've never heard him promise something like this. So seriously, comment, because I want to see that.
Either that, or we can get V to follow me around in my Scream costume and video how badly I'll probably get the shit beat out of me wearing my costume trying to scare people.
Yeah, I don't think this is the right kind of neighborhood for that.
Yeah, I might just get shot.
It's possible.
Okay, so vest.
Okay, yes. Maybe
Anyway.
scream in like in a hunter orange. Does it come in a hunter orange?
I wouldn't doubt it.
Okay. Might have to get you like one of those construction vests,
Yeah.
just in case.
Like a safety jacket.
Yeah.
Okay, these people don't want to listen to this. So why don't we get this going? Because we've spent a lot of time compiling and editing all of this information for your mental consumption
Indeed.
or descent into madness.
Indubitably.
So yeah. So let's talk about the discipline and decorum of the graveyard. And among the various fields of occult inquiry, few are misunderstood or as quietly venerated as the practice of graveyard etiquette. That is, the disciplined interaction with the dead and the spiritual currents that linger in the places of their rest. Those who approach this work must first recognize that the graveyard is neither a site of horror nor of curiosity, but of equilibrium. It is a liminal space where the seen and unseen coexist, and where the laws of both converge with exceptional precision. It has long been observed by initiates of occult philosophy alike that certain places retain the imprint of human presence beyond physical death. The corporeal form returns to its element, yet this subtle residue, part etheric, part astral, remains tied to the locality through memory, emotion, or unfulfilled current. This is not mere superstition, but a foundational observation repeated across centuries of esoteric study, from ritual necromancy of the Greeks to the funerary magic of the Renaissance theurgists. Therefore, to enter such a place is not a casual act. One does not walk among the dead without acknowledgement of their continued reality. A graveyard is filled of presences, a matrix of energy shaped by both reverent and forgetful acts of the living. The efficacy of all chthonic work is founded upon the initial magnum within the magnum opus. The great work mandates the operator's pure, sincere intention, requiring a disciplined and precise direction of the active will. These are not just as a social courtesy, but a metaphysical safeguard as well. The novice would approach with curiosity or fear. The wise would approach with composure, clarity, and respect. The observance of etiquette harmonizes the visitor with the subtle order of the location. It prevents disruption of the currents that sustain the resting and shields the practitioner from the imbalance that arises when one walks without permission. There are broadly 3 categories of caution that must be considered before one steps across the threshold of any burial ground: physical, energetic, and spiritual cautions. Simplified, respect the physical environment, honoring graves, boundaries, relics of memory. Maintain energetic balance, guarding your own vitality to neither drain nor oversaturate the space. Recognize that spiritual intention carries weight, and that actions in the presence of the dead are never neutral. Each act within the cemetery is an exchange. To take even a handful of earth is to participate in a practice that predates and outlasts the practitioner. Thus, the customs preserved through occult traditions like the leaving of coins at the gate, the avoidance of stepping upon graves, the offering of flowers or natural objects, the act of leaving as one entered, all arise not from quaint superstition, but from comprehension of the laws of correspondence and polarity. The Hermeticist understands that equilibrium sustains all worlds. The necromancer, more particularly, knows that the disturbance of one's realm echoes into another. Graveyard etiquette, then, is not ritual formality, but metaphysical necessity. It is through adherence to this decorum that someone can ensure both respect towards the spirits and integrity of their own vital current. In what follows, we shall consider these observances in their order from preparation and entry to communion and departure, and explore the philosophical underpinnings that render them indispensable to the practitioner. Theory without action crumbles into confusion, and etiquette without insight is just an empty ritual.
Yes, exactly. Gotta know why we're doing what we're doing, or it's kind of meaningless.
So, I have all this stuff for you to read because I am not going to drive our listeners mad with my horrible linguistics.
Oh my gosh.
So they get the lovely V to read all of this information to.
I feel like there needs to be some sort of like sparkle in the background.
No, that's not. No sparkle noise.
Oh, no.
There you go. Is that better?
That's much better, thank you. Let's talk about the preparations that you can do yourself before entering a location, such as a graveyard, yeah?
Oui, oui.
Oui, oui. Preparation in all esoteric work precedes understanding. It is not the act of ritual alone that aligns the practitioner with the forces they seek to engage, but the interior condition from which the act arises. This principle holds especially true when one's destination is the domain of the dead, for there the currents of vitality and disillusion intermingle with great subtlety. The adept who walks unprepared into a graveyard enters not a place of rest, but a mirror of their own disorder. The first work of preparation is internal. Before stepping across the threshold, one must settle the mind into quiet neutrality. Neither mournful nor triumphant, neither seeking nor fearing. The graveyard has no patience for sentimentality. It resonates most clearly with composure. To carry agitation, curiosity, or grief unprocessed into such a field is to invite sympathetic resonance with those same qualities in the unseen inhabitants. The disciplined practitioner learns to still their emotions as one stills water before reading the reflection upon its surface. Intention and belief governs outcome. If one approaches the cemetery merely to test their courage, they will meet only echoes of their own bravado. If one enters to commune, to learn, or to offer service, the spirits will respond in kind. In Hermetic philosophy, this is the law of correspondence, in living motion. The nature of one's interior vibration determines the response of the outer realm. Thus, clarity of intent is the true key before any other keys. as above, so below, as within, so without. Having composed the mind, the practitioner must next attend to the body and its surrounding energetic sheath. The ancients maintained that the boundary between the living and the dead is porous. Vitality may bleed across if not properly contained. Simple acts of purification, bathing in running water, abstaining from indulgences, and grounding through meditation or prayer, serve to fortify this boundary. Some traditional orders advise that the practitioner carry upon their person a symbol of balance, a small iron key, a silver coin, or a fragment of salt wrapped in cloth. These are not charms in the popular sense, but instruments of polarity, material anchors that stabilize the energetic circuit between self and environment. Iron steadies the vital current. Silver reflects and protects. Salt seals and purifies. Their use is ancient, their effectiveness well recorded across diverse esoteric lineages. Every place of the dead possesses guardians, though not all are personified. Some are ancestral presences who linger as wardens. Others are the collective spirit of the ground itself. To acknowledge them is a matter of courtesy and metaphysical prudence alike. Before entering, the occultist lays an offering at the gate, most commonly 3 coins or another token of passage. The number 3 corresponds to the triune nature of being, body, soul, and spirit, and the act itself mirrors ancient rites of crossing found from Egypt to Rome. The offering does not purchase permission, rather it affirms the visitor's awareness of boundary. It is a declaration that one enters not as a trespasser, but as a conscious participant in the law of exchange. Without offering, the act of entry remains incomplete, for the current of giving and receiving is what distinguishes sacred approach from intrusion. Protection, in this context, does not arise from fear of malevolent forces, but from respect for differentiation. The living and the dead operate upon distinct currents. To mingle them carelessly is to blur necessary boundaries. The occult practitioner carries certain instruments not as talismans of fear, but as affirmations of order. Among the most venerable of these is the use of consecrated water or wine sprinkled lightly upon the threshold and the shoes before entry, an echo of ancient purification rites. Some traditions favor a cord or thread of black and white twisted together and worn at the wrist, symbolizing the interwoven duality of vitality and decay. Whatever the method, the purpose is identical: to maintain coherence of the self while moving through the realm governed by other laws. Lastly, before the first step is taken, one cultivates silence. Words dissipate energy. Silence gathers it. In silence, one observes whether the gate welcomes or resists, whether the air feels receptive or unsettled. This is not imagination, but sensitivity. The cultivated awareness of subtle fields that all serious adepts develop through practice or intuition. To enter against resistance is to impose. To wait for harmony is to align with the order of the place. When all these conditions are met, purity of body, clarity of intent, offering made, instruments in place, and silence observed, the occultist may proceed. The act of crossing the boundary is then no longer profane but sacramental. Each step acknowledges the continuity between the worlds while preserving the distinction that sustains them. In this, the first movement of etiquette is completed. What follows concerns the conduct within the domain itself, the measured gestures and unspoken courtesies that preserve harmony once one has entered among the silent company.
So I know what you guys at home are probably thinking. This sounds like a lot of shit to do to go walking through the graveyard. And it is. But, I mean...
necessary?
Do you want an attachment?
I do like how this whole section kind of just goes over again what we've discussed in so many of our episodes, that intention is everything. I mean...
it really does play a huge role in all of this. Most of this stuff is all psychological. Mm-hmm. And if you're not in the right brain space, this stuff could very easily lead you down a path of misconception.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, but let's keep going. We've got a long way to the top if we're going to rock and roll. So let's kind of keep it going with crossing into that graveyard, because it can be an act of, quiet significance. It doesn't make a lot of sound, but it is a very reverent moment, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The threshold itself is not simply a physical marker. It denotes the transition from a domain governed by the impulses of the living to one sustained by the subtle order of repose. Once inside, every movement must be deliberate. The adept knows that presence itself is a vibration, and that within this domain, vibration is communion.
So the threshold divides, but it also connects. So in Hermetic terms, it is the locus where opposites reconcile. The visible and invisible, form and essence, sound and silence. The graveyard thus operates as a liminal body. And within its bounds, the occult laws of correspondence manifest with heightened clarity. To pass this point consciously is to acknowledge that one's vitality moves through a field already occupied by other intelligences, not hostile, but sovereign in their own right. Awareness of this sovereignty is the first discipline of conduct. The living do not dominate the place of the dead. They participate as a guest within another's temple. The graveyard is, in essence, a sanctum of transition, and those who walk its path do so within the rhythm of dissolution and return. Within the gate, motion becomes a form of reverence. The practitioner should tread slowly, placing each step with awareness, allowing the subtle senses to adjust to the altered atmosphere. There exists a palpable stillness in such places, an equilibrium born of countless completed cycles. To move hurriedly is to create dissonance. To move mindfully is to attune one's feel to that equilibrium. The matter of stepping upon graves requires little elaboration for the trained occultist. It is not a superstition, but an energetic principle. Each headstone marks a nexus of residual vitality, the last concentration of an individual's life pattern. To cross it is to interfere with a structure of order that, though unseen, remains intact. Where inadvertent transgression occurs, a simple acknowledgement suffices, a pause, a silent inclination of the head, and, when appropriate, a gesture of cleansing, brushing away debris or straightening a fallen stone. Such acts restore balance immediately. Apology and correction are one and the same motion. The true work within a cemetery is not external, but perceptual. The adept observes without grasping, listening without demanding. Sensations may arise, a shift in temperature, a faint vibration beneath your feet, the sensation of being attended to. These should not alarm the disciplined mind. They are signs that the practitioner's field is resonating with the layered currents of this place. Perception is not communication. One may perceive the presence of spirits without attempting to speak or summon. Communion is granted only when the polarity between observer and the observed is balanced. The graveyard teaches this naturally. The less one seeks to intrude, the more the environment reveals itself. Patience, quietude, and measured breaths are instruments of perception. To engage is simple maintenance, clearing leaves from a neglected grave, replacing fallen flowers, setting right a tilted stone, is to perform the work of restoration, a sacred act in the microcosm. The Hermetic axiom solve et coagula finds expression even here. One dissolves decay through mindful attention, and by the act coagulates order anew. This practice benefits the living as much as the dead. The adept, through service, harmonizes with the principle of equilibrium that sustains the cosmos. Such acts need no witness and require no ritual language. The intent itself transforms physical labor into spiritual offering. In the older traditions, this was called quiet alchemy, the unseen refinement of the soul through the restoration of external harmony. Communication with the dead must never be presumed. True invocation or necromantic dialogue is a distinct discipline, separate from mere visitation. Within the boundaries of etiquette, the occultists refrain from calling and commanding or invoking. To speak inwardly in gratitude or contemplation is permitted. To summon without necessity is transgression. There exists an unspoken law recognized across esoteric schools. The living may address, but only the willing respond. Respecting this autonomy preserves integrity on both sides. Violating it creates resonance without control, and imbalance that can follow the practitioner beyond the gate. Thus, the principle of non-intrusion stands at the core of graveyard decorum. Enter with respect, remain with humility, and depart without imprint. Before leaving, the adept pauses at the interior boundary, not to take, not to speak, but to recollect themselves. The subtle field, having expanded to match the vibrations of the place, must be gathered inward once more. This is accomplished in silence. One breath drawn deeply, awareness centered behind the heart, and a single thought of gratitude released into the ground. No further gesture is required. The practitioner then turns toward the gate by which they entered, preparing for the ritual of departure that closes the circuit of exchange. To leave consciously is to seal the work. To rush away is to leave the current open. And you can always make sure to never look back.
Ooh, that's a good one. We'll just have to add that one.
Superstition, but
We'll tack it on to the end, though. I feel like it's valid.
I follow that rule.
Yeah, I think it holds water. It is interesting. I like it. I think all of those are based in sensibility.
Yeah.
Well, it feels only natural to move into physically leaving a graveyard or threshold.
Why, yes, so lead us to our departure.
Right this way, people. To the exit. All true rites conclude as they begin, in consciousness. The act of leaving sacred ground is not the negation of entry, but its completion. The magician who fails to withdraw with deliberation risks leaving a portion of their own current intermingled with the field of the dead. In the oldest Hermetic formulations, this is considered a rupture of polarity, an unfinished circuit in the universal exchange between vitality and repose. Every crossing of a threshold constitutes a covenant. To enter is to align one's frequency with the place. To depart is to withdraw without tearing the fabric that connects the two. The ancients described this principle as restitutio ad centrum, the return to one's center. All work within liminal spaces must be sealed by return, lest the practitioner remain vibrationally suspended between worlds. The law of return is not moral but natural. Just as the tides recede after they advance, the vital current must contract after expansion. To leave a graveyard correctly is to acknowledge the completion of a cycle. In Hermetic terms, this act reestablishes the rhythm of above and below, ensuring that the practitioner carries back not the residue of death, but the equilibrium of understanding. The act of leaving by the same gate through which one entered is an ancient observance, recorded in numerous magical and funerary traditions. The reasoning is geometrical as much as metaphysical. The pathway of ingress establishes a line of force, a defined corridor between personal and environmental energies. Exiting by another route leaves that current open-ended, a thread untied. When the adept retraces their steps, they symbolically gather that thread, reeling back the energies extended during entry. This is not a superstition of pursuit, but a practice of containment. The spirits do not follow the living in the theatrical sense, often imagined by the untrained. Rather, it is the practitioner's own energy that may remain entangled if the proper closure is neglected. Repetition of the path reharmonizes the vibratory field, completing the circuit. In some Hermetic schools, the final footstep upon leaving the gate is accompanied by a momentary stillness, a breath drawn inward as the boundary is crossed. This breath functions as the seal of the work, reasserting dominion of the living realm within the self.
You know, that reminds me of people who say, hold your breath when you're crossing a bridge.
Oh, yeah, I got you.
You know, I don't know where that comes from. If anybody at home knows where the hold your breath crossing a bridge comes from, or if it's connected to this, you should let us know. Shoot us an email.
Yes, reach out.
drop us a comment and we'll get back with you.
Yeah, we'd love to know, honestly. Now I'm super curious, because it is very similar, you have to admit. Departure should always be marked by a gesture of acknowledgement, not supplication, but gratitude. The adept recognizes that the experience within the cemetery is a privilege granted by the equilibrium of the place, not a right taken by personal authority. A quiet inclination of the head, a touch upon the gatepost, or a whispered benediction suffices. This gratitude is not directed toward individual spirits, but toward the field as a whole. The genius loci, the intelligence of the land and its dead. It is both thanks and affirmation of balance restored. In Hermetic practice, gratitude performs a function similar to purification. It neutralizes lingering currents of imbalance and returns the practitioner's focus from communion to independence. After leaving, the adept must consciously close the exchange initiated by their presence. This is done not through elaborate ritual, but through awareness. One recalls, for a moment, the offering left behind and mentally completes the circuit by releasing attachment to it. The offering now belongs to the place and to its presiding intelligences. The practitioner then invokes the principle of separatio, the clear distinction between realms, through a simple inward affirmation. That which is theirs remains theirs, that which is mine returns to me. This act of mental clarity ensures that vitality and death current remain in rightful proportion, preventing psychic bleed-through or fatigue. Upon returning to the dwelling or place of study, certain small acts serve to finalize the transition. Washing the hands and face with cool water suffices in most cases. The use of salt water or herbal infusion, rosemary, hyssop, or rue, is traditional. One should avoid direct invocation or meditation for several hours thereafter, allowing the subtle body to recalibrate to its normal frequency. Many adepts maintain a dedicated vessel, a small bowl of earth or ash kept near the doorway, into which they touch a few grains of salt upon returning from any work involving the dead. This is a physical declaration that the currents of the graveyard remain external. The practice is found in various Mediterranean and European traditions, where salt and earth are understood as agents of boundary and stabilization. The philosopher does not leave a graveyard merely to resume the routines of life unchanged. The return completes not only a physical circuit, but an intellectual and spiritual one. The experiences within the field of the dead often present themselves later, in dream or subtle intuition, as teachings rather than messages. Integration requires neither interpretation nor indulgence. It requires observation. The adept records sensations, reflections, and impressions in a dedicated journal of death work, but refrains from immediate analysis. Over time, patterns emerge, insights into the nature of disillusion, continuity, and the equilibrium of being. This is the true harvest of graveyard discipline, understanding derived from experience rather than belief.
This is a true diaries of a necromancer.
Ooh, I love that. Can that be the new HBO series?
It's like a dream journal, but for graveyard work.
I'm cool with that.
It's like Death Note, though.
Yeah, I was actually thinking that. That's kind of the vision I had.
That's exactly what I thought, too.
Yes. These long, sinewy fingers grasping the book.
Ryuk.
I love it. Love it.
Let's continue. We got a lot to cover.
Oh my gosh, yeah. We're just leaving the cemetery. Now we're going to return home and reintegrate all that vital current.
What are you kids doing over there? You're playing in the car. It's going to be bringing home parasites.
That's okay. At least dinner's on the table in 20. When one returns from the graveyard, having performed the necessary rites of departure and gratitude, the work is not yet complete. The final task of the occultist is often the most overlooked, ensuring that the subtle body, the etheric and astral elements of the self, are fully reintegrated into the corporeal vessel, and that no fragment of the energies encountered during the ritual remains improperly attached. Failure to engage in post-visit purification and realignment can have profound consequences. To understand this, one must first recognize the nature of the subtle body and the energetic interplay between living and dead realms. The subtle body, the energetic or psychic field that surrounds and interpenetrates the physical form, is the vehicle through which all metaphysical work is conducted. It is this body that extends outward, connects to other realms, and interacts with forces both visible and invisible. As the occultist engages in any work within the graveyard, they temporarily extend the influence of their subtle body into the realm of the dead. In Hermetic terms, the subtle body corresponds to the astral plane, a dimension of psychic energies that lies between the physical and spiritual worlds. It is within this plane that death, decay, and renewal continually take place. By entering a graveyard, the occultist walks along the edge of this plane, interacting with energies that may be unresolved, stagnant, or even dissonant. When leaving, these energies must be consciously disengaged. Otherwise, they may cling to the subtle body, causing psychic disturbance, weakness, or misalignment. Without proper purification, these energies could also influence the practitioner's thoughts, emotions, or physical health. The first danger of neglecting purification rituals is psychic imbalance. This is often subtle but noticeable in the days following an encounter with the dead. Symptoms of this imbalance may include fatigue or unusual, unexplained tiredness that seems to deepen the more the practitioner attempts to rest, emotional disarray, a sense of emotional heaviness, anxiety, or depression that was not present before the visit, persistent negative thoughts, an increase in intrusive, self-destructive, or obsessive thoughts, and feeling followed, or an uncomfortable sensation that feeling unseen is accompanying the practitioner, whether in dreams or waking life. These disturbances are not merely psychological, but energetic. The etheric body, when exposed to energies of the dead, is at risk of absorbing dissonant frequencies, energies that are not harmonious with the practitioner's life force. If left unresolved, these frequencies may manifest as chronic energetic leaks, draining the practitioner's vitality over time, affecting their physical health and mental clarity. In some cases, prolonged exposure can even invite malevolent attachments or negative spiritual influence. To prevent these consequences, the practitioner engages in specific cleansing rituals to purify the subtle body and restore energetic balance. These rituals are a return to coherence, a realignment with the natural laws of vitality and form. The following rituals are critical for maintaining the integrity of one's energy field. Water inherently dissipates foreign energies. Simply washing the hands and face with cool water, or adding salt or consecrated oil for extra cleansing power, is a basic but effective clearing ritual. This symbolic gesture creates an energetic barrier, allowing the practitioner to consciously release all attachment to the cemetery's energy. Practitioners often use herbs like rosemary, sage, and hyssop for energetic restoration due to their purifying and protective properties. An herbal wash or bath offers a deep cleansing of the energetic layers, acting as a form of sympathetic magic by transferring the herb's properties to the practitioner to reset the subtle body's energetic matrix. For deeper work, burning sage or palo santo and using the smoke for smudging is also employed, focusing on the head and chest especially. Salt is universally understood in the occult traditions as a purifier and protector. As a mineral, it absorbs and neutralizes negative energies. After returning from a graveyard, it is common for the practitioner to sprinkle salt in a circle around their workspace or doorway, effectively sealing the area from foreign influence. Salt is often used in conjunction with a ritual affirmation or prayer to strengthen the intent of the cleansing. The occultist must engage in intentional purification by closing their eyes, focusing on the breath, and visualizing a bright light from the heart or crown chakra. The practitioner should imagine any remaining graveyard energies being drawn into the earth or to be neutralized. Additionally, grounding is vital. Achieving physical contact with the earth, such as walking barefoot or lying on the ground, reestablishes a full connection with the natural world, drawing the subtle body back into the equilibrium with the planet's frequency. Neglecting any of these essential cleansing rituals invites a host of dangers. One of the most serious consequences is the possibility of psychic or spiritual attachments. The dead, or energies of the deceased, may seek to follow the practitioner if not properly dismissed. This attachment is typically energetic, manifesting as psychic impressions, dreams, or intrusive thoughts. In more severe cases, these attachments may result in possession, though this is rare and usually involves a marked violation of graveyard etiquette. As previously noted, failure to cleanse may lead to an ongoing drain on the practitioner's vitality. This can manifest as chronic illness, particularly of a non-physical nature. Fatigue, mood swings, or susceptibility to illnesses may be signs that the subtle body has become imbalanced and is no longer effectively protecting the physical form. When the subtle body is misaligned, spiritual growth is hindered. The practitioner may find that their psychic abilities become clouded or ineffective, their intuitive senses dull, or their connection to higher consciousness blocked. This is because the energy channels are corrupted by foreign influences, preventing the flow of pure, vital energy. The most extreme danger is that of malevolent spirits, or forces attaching themselves to the practitioner. While the majority of spirits encountered in a graveyard are neutral or benign, there are always exceptions. When one does not properly close the circuit of interaction, negative or unresolved spirits may cling to the practitioner, affecting their emotional, physical, and spiritual well-being. These influences are often subtle at first, but can escalate if ignored. The rituals that follow graveyard work are not mere formalities, but essential practices that safeguard the integrity of the practitioner. Without these purifications, one risks more than discomfort. They risk a disturbance in the vital currents of life, creating potential havoc in both the physical and metaphysical realms. By reinforcing the boundary between the self and the otherworldly, the practitioner ensures not only their personal safety, but also the integrity of their ongoing spiritual development.
So think of that as going to the beach and you're swimming in the ocean, but you still come home and take a shower.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's true.
You're in the water, but it's not necessarily completely clean.
And that's not your bathtub, friend.
Right.
You don't know what else swims in there.
I mean, that's the way I look at it.
Fish pee in there.
Okay, that's gross.
Well, it's true, and people should know this.
Turtles poop in it. People pee in it.
That's very true. It's unfortunate, but very true.
Okay, but yeah.
So the shower at home. And then this next part's kind of like, we're just going to hit on this. If anybody wants to know more about it, please reach out to us and maybe we'll consider going a little deeper into it on another episode. But we're just going to touch on, where we were cleansing in the last section. In this section, we're going to maintain what we've cleansed so that going back out to the cemetery is something that you're already prepared for and something that's going to be way more meaningful because you've upkept it. Does that make more sense?
Yes.
Cool. Once the practitioner has completed the process of cleansing, both physically and energetically, the task of sustaining the soul's integrity begins. This section is kind of focused on how to keep the subtle body in a state of balance and harmony, so that the work done within the cemetery or any other liminal space continues to benefit the practitioner's growth rather than destabilizing it. In many ways, the work is far from over, for spiritual equilibrium is not simply something to be attained, it is something that must be carefully maintained.
I have the power!
The power of Grayskull compels you!
I'm sorry.
Wait, I'm getting a lot of things mixed up, I think.
What generation are you from?
I'm from a few, evidently.
The power of Grayskull compels you. Okay.
Oh, this should be on a t-shirt. That's awesome.
Okay, seriously though.
Oh my gosh. All right. Oh man. It's suddenly very hot in here, yeah?
I think it's the wine.
Oh! Well, I wasn't going to mention it, but now that you've ratted us out, thanks.
This is our partaking.
We're sustaining other things as well. So the key to sustaining balance after contact with the dead or their realm is awareness and discernment. The occultist must remain vigilant not only over their external surroundings, but also over the shifts within their own internal state. The energies from the graveyard are not static, they resonate, and as such, they can fluctuate in intensity and influence. These shifts may reveal themselves subtly through shifts in mood, energy levels, or even intellectual clarity. However, they must not be ignored, for these fluctuations represent the law of correspondence. What happens on the outside mirrors what occurs within.
As above, so below.
Exactly.
As within, so without.
Exactly. To maintain inner balance, the practitioner must engage in daily practices that keep their subtle bodies attuned. These include meditation, inner reflection, and mindful grounding. which we kind of covered some of those in that last section. After working with the energies of the dead, especially in a space as spiritually charged as a cemetery, the practitioner must be proactive in maintaining their energetic integrity. This involves protective work, shielding the self from external influences and reinforcing the boundaries of their energy field. Protective rituals may include regular cleansing baths or washes, invocation of protective forces. Sorry.
Y'all just go get some Obsidian and some tourmaline, take a damn salt bath, and you'll be alright. Sprinkle some mineral water on your ass.
Sprinkle.
I apologize. You guys are lucky, because this is free.
I'm crying.
Don't forget to bathe your damn crystals in the moonlight.
Oh my gosh.
Cleanse that shit. I was once told I was schizophrenic, but we're all right now.
It went away.
Comes back every other Sunday, though. 1st and the 15th.
Oh gosh.
Probably because that's when I get paid.
Oh Lord.
So back to the dangers of neglecting the balance of the force.
Oh no.
I've made V lose it.
I'm just gonna... Can we, like, commercial break or something?
We'll be right back. And we're back.
The risks of not maintaining balance after working with the graveyard cannot be overstated. Without regular protective practices and purification, the practitioner leaves themselves vulnerable to a gradual erosion of their vital energy. By maintaining balance, the practitioner ensures that they remain not only physically and mentally strong, but also spiritually grounded. This allows them to continue their path of knowledge, wisdom, and spiritual development without the hindrance of disruptive influences.
I also use protection to prevent erosion.
No glove, no love. So let's talk about why one would find themselves in a graveyard to begin with.
You mean not to be cool emo kids in the early 2000s?
I have heard people are dying to get in.
That one hit deep.
Oh my gosh. 6 feet under, huh?
9 foot.
Oh, a deep one.
Yep. Then you put a dead animal 4 foot above you.
Oh, I see. This is the How to Get Away with Murder version.
Yes, we learned that.
It did seem quite useful. Anywho, let's talk about the purpose of the practitioner being in the graveyard. Yeah?
Yes, what is thou purpose?
Well, among those versed in the occult sciences, the graveyard is not a place of idle curiosity, nor of mere macabre fascination. It is, rather, a crucible of profound energies, an intersection where life and death converge into a single vibration. The magician, in approaching such a place, does so with defined purpose and tempered understanding. To work within the graveyard is not to traffic in morbidity. It is to engage with the very mechanism of transformation that governs all things. To the Hermetic mind, death is not an end, but a transmutation, the dissolution of form into essence. The cemetery, therefore, is an alchemical field in which matter has been returned to its elemental components, and spirit released from the bondage of corporeal form. This field contains within it the latent memory of that dissolution, a current that can be directed if one knows the laws by which it operates. It is for this reason that the adept, the necromancer, or the hermetic magician enters such a space. The graveyard offers a direct encounter with the mysteries of decay, rebirth, and continuity, the silent workings of solve et coagula, made manifest in soil and shadow. To the trained practitioner, this place is a temple of Saturn, lord of boundaries and endings, and an archive of ancestral wisdom. Every stone is a sigil, every mound a sealed vessel of transformation. While curiosity and sentiment may draw the uninitiated, the occult practitioner approaches the graveyard with specific and disciplined intentions. Among these, the most common are to commune with ancestral spirits. The practitioner may seek contact with their lineage, not for idle communication, but to honor, appease, or learn from those who preceded them. Or to conduct necromantic study. Within certain Hermetic or Chthonic traditions, the study of the forces of death itself, decay, transformation, and renewal, forms part of the greater understanding of nature's cycles. Or maybe it's to collect materia magica. The cemetery provides access to certain substances that, when properly gathered and consecrated, serve as powerful components in magical work. Chief among these is graveyard dirt, the most misunderstood yet deeply significant of occult materials. Other materials may include stones, plant matter, rusted metal, or water that collects near graves or tombs. Each carries a specific resonance that can be harnessed under the correct conditions. Another reason a practitioner may find themselves in a graveyard is to offer service to the dead. Some practitioners enter graveyards not to take, but to give. Acts of cleaning, tending, and restoring order within neglected graves are themselves ritual offerings. Through service, the practitioner aligns with the cosmic principle of restitution and rebalancing, the restoration of order to that which has fallen into disarray. Such acts generate merit and equilibrium within the practitioner's own sphere. Among the materials drawn from graveyards, graveyard dirt is of singular importance. Yet its acquisition is surrounded by rules that are both ethical and metaphysical. To the occultist, the earth of the grave is not a mere substance. It is the record of transformation. It has absorbed the residual energies of a life, the pattern of dissolution, and the sacred quiet of repose. It is therefore not inert but potent. Graveyard dirt may serve different purposes depending on its source and the intent with which it is gathered. Soil from the crossroads of the cemetery, or the threshold itself, holds neutral energy, excellent for barrier work or as a medium for offerings to gatekeepers and psychopomps. Once home, the material is placed within a sacred space, typically an altar or cabinet dedicated to chthonic or Saturnian work. It should be labeled discreetly with the source and date of collection noted in the practitioner's grimoire. The use of such material varies. It may serve as a foundation for protective amulets, an ingredient in consecration powders, or a physical anchor for necromantic communication. Graveyard dirt is never used casually. Its virtue lies in its connection. To misuse it is to invite the imbalance inherent in that violation. When these acts are conducted without respect, without offering, or without the observance of proper etiquette, the practitioner risks profound disturbance, not through superstition, but through the natural laws of energetic reciprocity. Every act performed in a graveyard sets in motion a correspondence. The occultist draws from a field of energy governed by order and rest. To disrupt that order is to create dissonance. If the practitioner removes from the cemetery without acknowledgement or exchange, they carry with them an unbalanced current, a fragment of that dissonance. It may cling to their aura, distort their dreams, or subtly erode their equilibrium. What the ancients described as being followed home is, in truth, the lingering of this imbalance, an unresolved energetic debt. Such attachments are not always conscious entities. Often they are thought forms, psychic residues, or sympathetic links to the place from which something was improperly taken. When an attachment occurs, it does so not because the spirits are malevolent, but because order has been disturbed. The practitioner has entered into a current of rest, drawn from it without due exchange, and left the circuit open. This allows energy and sometimes consciousness to flow where it should not. Attachments may manifest as persistent feelings of heaviness or oppression, disruptive dreams involving the dead or the cemetery itself, objects inexplicably moving or energies shifting within the home, diminished vitality, sudden irritability, or melancholy without cause. In more serious cases, the practitioner may find themselves bound to the very current they sought to command, unable to separate their life force from the field of the dead. This is not punishment, it is law. What is not closed remains open. The only remedy for such disturbances is restitution. One must return what was taken, or offer in compensation that which restores equilibrium. This may take the form of additional offerings, purification, or direct petition to the guardian spirits for forgiveness. The soil or object improperly acquired should be brought back to its source, returned with humility, and accompanied by libation and acknowledgement. Through this act of restitution, the circuit is sealed once again and harmony restored. The graveyard, like the universe, is self-correcting. It will return to equilibrium, though not always gently. The seasoned occultist knows that every encounter with death is, ultimately, an encounter with truth. The cemetery is not a place of horror, but of discipline. It teaches patience, precision, and respect for law. It reminds the magician that the taking of power always carries the burden of proportionate responsibility. Those who obey its etiquette gain wisdom. Those who violate it invite correction. In this sense, the graveyard remains the most silent of teachers, firm, impartial, and absolute in its lessons.
Yeah, I think this makes sense.
It does. It kind of tracks, right?
It's like the whole process of equivalent exchange.
Okay, I can see that.
So, like, based on the principle, you have to give something of equal value in exchange for what you want, essentially.
Yeah.
So, you can't bring something back from the dead without
giving some sort of life
giving
to
a life.
It. Yeah.
So that's kind of why it's like, that would be like a forbidden kind of type of alchemy.
Every time someone says bring something back from the dead, I think of Genie, but like Robin Williams' Genie, where he gets on there and he's like, I can't bring anything back from the dead. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love that. Anyway. No, for sure. And I think I liked this portion because it just boils down to, like, if you've offended someone, say sorry and mean it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's not always that simple.
No, but that's what it boils down to, really.
Like, don't fuck up in the first place. Take your
Well,
shoes
sure.
off before you
Yes.
enter my house.
Yeah. Instead of always apologizing or apologizing better for getting mud on the carpet, maybe you just don't put it there to begin with.
This is one of those cases where you don't ask forgiveness later.
Definitely ask permission.
Yes.
As we have discussed at length, graveyards are not merely physical spaces, but potent spiritual territories, imbued with the energies of death, transformation, and rebirth. For the magician, the graveyard holds immense power, but it is a power that must be approached with both reverence and caution. The soil, the dirt, and the spirits that reside within these hallowed grounds are part of a greater cycle of existence, and it is essential that the practitioner understands and respects their role within this cycle. Graveyard dirt, when treated with respect, serves as a conduit to deeper knowledge, spiritual guidance, and transformation. It can be used to summon the dead, communicate with ancestors, bind energies, protect oneself, or bring about personal change. However, as with all sacred practices, the practitioner must always be aware of the ethical implications of their work. The graveyard is a place of power, and to misuse it is to risk drawing the wrath of forces beyond our understanding, forces that are not easily dismissed or controlled. One of the fundamental lessons in necromantic work and graveyard magic is that the power of the dead is not to be taken lightly. In many ways, the dead are the keepers of wisdom and mystery, yet they are also the bearers of limitations, boundaries, and inevitable endings. Their energies are not infinite, and they are often bound by the rules of nature that govern life and death. Disrespecting these energies, either through negligence or deliberate misuse, invites chaos and spiritual disturbance. The dead are not static beings. Their energies are alive in the soil, the bones, and the very air of the graveyard. As such, they must be approached with due care, for their power has the ability to leave lasting impressions upon the practitioner. The spirits of the graveyard have lived lives rich with experience, and in some cases, their wisdom can transcend the limitations of the physical body. Yet, to engage with these spirits without the proper spiritual protections, offering respect and maintaining a sense of ethical conduct is akin to playing with fire. The etiquette we have outlined, whether it be the act of leaving offerings, avoiding disrespectful behavior, cleaning up neglected graves, or following proper exit rituals, are not mere customs, but vital components of an ongoing relationship with the spirits and energies of the graveyard. These practices are designed to establish harmony between the living and the dead, to ensure that the practitioner enters into the sacred space with the proper mindset, reverence, and respect. When the practitioner adheres to these guidelines, they create an environment in which cooperation between the realms of the living and the dead is possible. This cooperation can lead to powerful magical work, whether that work be related to necromancy, spirit communication, personal transformation, or the acquisition of occult knowledge. By respecting the graveyard, the spirits, and the spiritual laws that govern this space, the practitioner creates a reciprocal relationship, one that is built on mutual trust, respect, and the understanding of the natural cycles of life and death. Ultimately, graveyard work is not an isolated event, but a process. Once the practitioner has completed their ritual work, whether it be necromancy, spirit communication, or material collection, they must continue to act with responsibility and care. The rituals of closure, cleansing, and protection are just as important as the rituals of arrival and engagement. By leaving the graveyard with the same respect and attention to detail as when they arrived, the practitioner closes the energetic cycle and ensures that no unwanted attachments, negative energies, or disruptions are left lingering. Equally important is the practice of ongoing respect for the spirits encountered during the work. This means maintaining offerings, performing regular rituals of gratitude, and offering prayers or thoughts of reverence to the dead. The graveyard is not a place to visit once and forget. It is a space that requires ongoing attention and respect. The practitioner must not view their interaction with the graveyard as transactional, but as a part of a continuous, living relationship. Such relationships with the dead require maintenance, ongoing reflection, and deep care. As the ancient Hermetic wisdom teaches us, the spirits we encounter in the graveyard are not merely relics of the past, but part of the living continuum of existence. By honoring them, we honor the ongoing cycle of life, death, and rebirth.
So as we close this work, it is essential to remember that the graveyard is a gateway, not only to the realm of the dead, but also to the deeper layers of our own consciousness, our spiritual journey, and our relationship with the unseen forces of the universe. In this sense, it is a mirror that reflects both the darker aspects of our nature and the potential for transformation and renewal. When used properly, the graveyard becomes a place of great power and wisdom. It is not simply a space for gathering materials or seeking magical knowledge. It is a sacred ground that connects us to the mysteries of life, death, and the invisible realm that lies beyond. Through understanding, respect, and careful attention to the laws of etiquette, the practitioner can engage with the graveyard as a sacred space, receiving its gifts while honoring its profound spiritual nature. May this work serve as a guide for those who seek to approach the graveyard with knowledge, integrity, and the proper reverence. Through such practices, we become not only students of the dead, but stewards of the cycle of life and death, walking the thin line between the living and the departed, with respect and balance in every step. So we hope you guys enjoyed this one and really take it to heart. So we know tomorrow is going to be Halloween. So I know some people are going to be playing around on the graveyards.
Of course.
But please respect the dead or get haunted.
Yep. Just know the consequences, friends.
Yep. There's no other option.
Do what you're gonna do and have fun and be safe, but also know what is awaiting you.
Yeah.
If you don't heed our warnings.
Follow the etiquette.
But also, happy Halloween!
Yes, happy Halloween, everybody. And until next time.
Oh, that's me.
That was your line.
Oh, God, okay. Well, until next time, dreamers, keep dreaming, and
join us in discovering what may lie beyond the walls of sleep.